Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. Thank you very, very much for being here. So yeah, now, yeah, I think some of these guys would get the message that making women angry is not smart. But apparently, Paxton in Texas, not penetrating. So, as I'm sure you all know, there has been this really awful situation for this woman who is pregnant and the baby has zero chance of survival. If she sort of carries that pregnancy to term, it could impact her ability to have any children. This is a woman who loves and wants to have children. This is not somebody who, had a party one night and thinks she needs to get rid of a problem. So she took it to the court. And the court said, "No, you need to have one, and that's how it is. You go have one." And then Paxton said, "No, I'm taking it to a higher court, and if you try, I will, come after you, right? I'm going to charge you. I'm going to go after whoever provides that abortion." So, last we heard, she has left the state and hopefully has gotten the medical care that she needs, and hopefully um, some emotional support, because I'm sure what she is going through is devastating. Um, you know, any woman out there who has carried a pregnancy and has gotten to the place where you can start to feel the flutters of that life. And it becomes such a it, be, that motion, that energy, etc. It becomes such a part of who you are in your body as a woman that knowing that that has to be stopped and there is not going to be a life as a result of that has to be one of the most difficult and heartbreaking things I think a woman could go through. Not the only one, but that's got to be tough. And there are these men who insist on climbing into people's bedrooms and climbing into people's doctor's offices and telling them exactly how things are going to go. So I want to take a look. Listen, the thing in Texas is it's probably going to go to whatever court it needs to go to, and they're going to, you know, hold a hard line and etc. I'm more interested in finding out what the ramifications of that. What is the impact for the women in Texas who are, I suspect, by and large, horrified, horrified by the things that they heard coming out of Paxton's mouth. Maybe he's trying to distract from the fact that he's like so corrupt, it's like not even funny, allegedly. But whatever it is, um, and again, this didn't just stop at the border, right? I mean, we know about it. We know about it here in Canada. You know about it all through the United States, right? It's not quiet. Let's take a look, shall we? It's so sad. It is just so sad. Um, Women's reproductive health care, um, impact on election. Women's reproductive health care election, women's reproductive health care election. Everywhere they brought this thing up, even in the reddest of red states, the people have said, "Oh, no, no, you do not take away that basic right." And, like bulls in china cabinet shops, man, they're just pushing through, and they don't care what they destroy and wreck along the way. And it's not going to, um, it's not going to serve them. And so, one really has to stop and wonder what the hell they're thinking. Like really, what are you thinking by taking this tact? Is it honestly an idea that, I don't know, is it barefoot and pregnant? Is it the handmaiden? Is it what is it? But whatever it is, it's not working for them. Now, this is where we're at right now. So what you have is you have people are decided on this, okay? There is, I would venture to say, almost nobody who is sort of on the fence, including men. They have very definite opinions on one side or the other. What's happening is that politicians are choosing to not see, Republican politicians in very red states, let me clarify, are choosing to not see um, sort of the impact of that and the ramifications of it. They're sort of thinking that, oh, they're just women. They get testy. Maybe it's that time of the month. But they get testy. They're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. They're not going to be fine. Women are banding together, and they are not letting this go. It's not happening. Moreover, they not only have the support in vast majority of cases of their partner, but they are gaining more and more momentum just across the board, with just men in general, with the law in general, with women who are, have never been pregnant, and women who were grandmas of 10. There more and more people are coming together, and this is going to be like a coalition that is going to be unbreakable. All right. You have the King of Cups here. They are not going to be bound and treated like their body, their own autonomy is not theirs to make decisions with. So what you have is a very kind of emotional um, reaction and situation. Now, I'm keeping this as a mini, okay? So I'm going to try not to go on and on. So the next thing we have is the Hierophant. Okay, so this obviously is representing the courts, the government, etc. But this is what follows it. You have the Ten of Cups. So ultimately, where you're going with this is that women are going to persevere, persist, and ultimately win. There are going to be This is not going to rest. I think the Republicans think that, you know what, Justice card, that, you know what, maybe it'll calm down. Maybe it'll calm down by November. And listen, Republicans aren't talking about it, right? And if they are, it's really vague. Oh, we should, come together and agree on something. Yeah, we agree that you have no business in our bedrooms and in our doctor's offices. That's what we agree on. Um, Ultimately, this will be course corrected. Ultimately, laws are going to be rewritten, and they're going to be strong, because hopefully the United States has learned what happens when you don't enshrine something into law. It is that much more vulnerable, even if it's been the way it's been for 50 years. But this is going to come back and bite. It's not only going to bite the Republicans, but it will continue to put a black mark against against SCOTUS for a very long time, until some of those older, very, very conservative, we know who they are, judges are gone, because this was this was a judgment that they had no business making to start with. But more importantly, this is a judgment that they're not going to be able to wear well, because people are not going to be bullied. They are not going to say you can just run roughshod over me and tell me what my body can and cannot do. So, where you're going with this whole abortion issue is that the Republicans are trying to throw a bunch of stuff in the air and get people not talking about abortion. And then they're really busy trying to get people not talk about all the things that people are talking about because they can't believe what the heck's going on. So they're going to continue to try to muddy the waters and throw crazy stuff in there. But it's not going to work. Okay, people are not going to take this lying down. I think that's obvious and apparent already, but it's not going to slow down. The momentum is going to continue to build. And even women who, not all, but even women who tend to lean, pro life, which I don't actually think is I don't think pro life is the right word. It's sort of like they're pro birth. But after that, they don't care. That, well, now that's your problem. You do what you want with that child, because the government's got nothing to say about that. Until they go to school, and then we're going to start banning books and telling them what they can read. And by the way, we're also going to rewrite US history, but I digress. So what you have are, so what I was saying was, even women who, lean right, even they are going, you know what, when you are carrying a life that is not going to survive. Like, they're not saying it has a low chance of survival. They're saying it's not going to. This fetus is not going to survive. And you are risking that woman's ability and her health. Even some of those women are going to say, you know what, that's enough. Maybe that isn't a choice I would make. And I think that there's probably a lot of people who are pro-abortion, autonomy and reproductive health, who maybe wouldn't make that choice. But they're certainly capable of understanding why somebody makes it, or at least having the respect to feel that that person made the best choice they could for them in the situation. And so the abortion issue is not going away. And, Democrats are going to keep on talking about it, and Republicans are going to, sorry, excuse me, are going to keep on muddying the water and saying kind of inane, vague things. But when it comes right down to it, it will be the women of the United States, with the energetic support of women around the globe, who will ultimately not only win this situation, but make it stronger and make sure that this kind of insulting behavior is not going to happen 50 years from now. That's what I know right now. All right. So thank you for being here. And everything going the way it should. I should see you tomorrow. Please don't forget to put in your questions for Pendulum Friday. You guys ask great questions, so keep them coming, keep them coming. And also don't forget to send me in, your comments about things that you would like me to do mini readings on. Okay, that's all for now. Take good care of yourself. Be well. Bye-bye.